up, everyone? First off, thank you so much for clicking on this video, taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I truly appreciate it. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the one thing that helped me get fit and get a six-figure job by the age of 23. Now, I do have some notes in front of me, so I'm looking down at any point. I'm just looking at my notes. And without further ado, we can just dive right into it. All right. So firstly, a little bit about my background. Before I started, either my fitness journey or my career journey, right? I was very lazy, very unmotivated. I would have what I would term as productivity bursts. And what I mean by that is I would decide one day, I'm tired of all this laziness and everything that I'm doing. I'm going to change my life. So I would make like a schedule and say, I'm going to clean my room, I'm going to meditate, and starting tomorrow, I'm going to focus more on school, and I'm going to do all these productive things. And I'd make a long list of things that I said I was going to do, like eat healthy, etc., etc. Now, what would inevitably end up happening is, since I was trying to change like 20 habits at once, I would follow this routine for maybe a week, 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more, but sooner or later I'd start slipping up and falling off the wagon, right? So, since I'd committed to so much and spread myself so thin, I was only doing, like, as far as productive things, I was only doing them in these short productivity bursts. The rest of the time, I wasn't really doing anything too productive. So overall, from year to year or month to month, I was seeing minimal to no changes in my life. Now, that all changed when I found out about The One Thing, which is a book by Gary Keller. And that book touches on just one concept, as the name kind of implies. And I will touch on that concept and talk about how it changed my life, right? So I came across this book. I only read the summary back then. Now at this point, I've actually read the whole full book, so I definitely recommend reading it. But I'll also explain the concept that the book proposes. So this book taught me to focus on less and the most impactful, right? So the basic proposal of this book is you need to, just sit down and think for a second and think, what is the one thing that I can do that if I do that thing and I knock it out of the park, everything else becomes irrelevant or doesn't really need to be done, right? So I sat down and thought about this for a second. And at that point in my life, one of the things I was struggling with the most was just self-image. Physically, I didn't like the way I looked. And, I was quite insecure about it. It was affecting my self-esteem, affecting my social life, and affecting my life in just about every way. So I decided that my one thing was fitness. I really wanted to finally, stop with the excuses and get in good shape and be proud of myself, when I look in the mirror, and be proud of the physique that I have, and, just be more appreciative of myself when I look in the mirror. So I committed myself to fitness and, dedicated myself to it. So I said, that's my one thing I'm going to focus on, even if I don't do anything else productive. The rest of the day, if I don't meditate, that's fine. If I don't, meet some other commitment that I'd set out previously, it's fine. But my one thing has to be done, right? Now, when I started off, before I even started this one thing journey, I do really want to emphasize, because I had this track record of constantly not meeting goals that I had set out for myself. Even going into this, I had a negative mindset, right? Like, part of me thought that I could do it, but then a big part of me was also like, look at the past, look at how many times before you said you'll do something and you haven't really done it. What's going to be different this time, right? So I wasn't super confident going into it, and I had a bit of a negative mindset going into it, right? So that's where I was at. I wasn't completely confident in my ability to achieve really anything. But again, I came across this book, came across the concept, and did it anyway. So I dedicated myself to fitness and ran with it. Now, once I did that, for the first time in my life, I actually saw a change. And not like a minor change, like, before when I used to meditate for like a week, I would see a minor change. I feel a little better, but then I'd fall off the wagon. This was consistent. I was, not missing a day in the gym, because again, I was like, okay, can't miss the gym. No matter what else I do, even if I do nothing else all day, can't miss the gym. And my nutrition had to be on point as well. So even if I do nothing else all day, I have to make sure I'm eating enough calories and, all those things. So that was the first time in my life where, over the course of, I would say, somewhere around 4 to 6 months, I actually started to see physical changes in my body that I was like, wow, okay, like I'm doing something for real. I'm making real progress. and even people around me were starting to comment on it, and that kind of reinforced what I was believing at the time, that there is real progress, and that motivated me even more. At this point, as far as my fitness journey, I mean, I've been lifting for upwards of 4 years, and now I'm focusing more on mixed martial arts, so weightlifting less so. But the point is, it's been a consistent habit. I built up that habit, and it's a habit to this day. And again, that was the very first thing that I had, I would say, truly ever accomplished in my life. There was nothing before that I could say like, hey, this is something, I started from scratch and I accomplished it. That was the first thing. And that totally changed my mindset. I went from having this negative mindset that I talked about earlier, where I was like, okay, let's start this goal. But in the back of my mind, it's like, okay, I was thinking, I'm not really going to accomplish this goal. I've never accomplished anything before. What's going to be different now? But after I accomplished this fitness goal, the mindset shifted, because something was different now. I did have something tangible that I could point back to and say that this next goal that I'm trying to achieve, I can achieve it, because I just achieved this previous fitness goal, which was also hard to achieve, but I saw that through till the end. So why not this one? And that's what leads me to the next point regarding career. So my fitness goal, I'd accomplished it. Basically, what I wanted was a little bit of muscle. So when I'm wearing clothes, people can tell I'm fit, but also having abs, six packs when I take off my shirt, and I had accomplished that goal. So next, I wanted to tackle my career. Right, I realized as I sat down that my career, the way it was going, my career trajectory was something I wasn't happy with at the moment. And when this point came, I made my career my one thing. So first I had to sit down and look at the different career options, see what sat well with me, what didn't. And software engineering seemed like a really good fit. I won't go into all the details why, because that's not what this video is about. But with my personality, I like more logical thinking and such things. Software engineering seemed like a very good fit. So I went with it, and I made that my one thing. So I was like, okay, I have to do this, this programming, this studying for my computer science courses. This I have to dedicate myself to. Even if I do nothing else productive all day, this has to be done. Okay, everything else is secondary, right? And when I did that, when I went into it, I had a healthier and more confident mindset. I was like, I did the fitness thing. Of course, I can do this. Put in the hard work, and I will get the reward. And that's how I was thinking when I went into it. And next, I just went at it, like ran with it again, like how I ran with the fitness thing. And I can happily say at this point, I've gone from basically about 2 years ago, which was zero CS knowledge, zero programming knowledge, or maybe that was 3 years ago. It was the end of 2019, so I guess closer to 3 years were coming on. And going from that to, I got the job at the company that I currently work at, and it's related to cybersecurity, which is what I always wanted. So I'm a software engineer in a security department. So I got that job around August of 2021, if I'm remembering correctly. So in total, in fact, less than 2 years, right? And I was able to accomplish that goal, and it's at a company that I really wanted to work for, and things just worked out really well. And all I can say is, this book, the one thing book, completely changed my life. Applying the concepts listed in this book completely changed my life, right? And that's not an over exaggeration. If anything, it's an under exaggeration. If it wasn't for learning these concepts, maybe I'd still be in a place where I hadn't accomplished any goal, and sitting here right now, I wouldn't be making this video, and I'd still just be having these productivity bursts where I was productive for a few weeks and then not productive for weeks on end, and basically wouldn't have accomplished anything. So but I don't think we'll ever get to a point where the author of that book will watch this video. But if that happens, I definitely want them to know that it was a life-changing book. And if you were in a position similar to what I described before, I hope this concept and this video helps you out as well. Definitely check out that book. Can't recommend it enough. And yeah, that is all I have for this video. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.